What's up, beautiful people? This is Baby Norman, and you're watching BaBysCriB. And tonight I am at a film festival that's been around for 20 years. We say this, 20 years. We're in Atlanta at the Limelight Theater, and I'm with these two amazing, incredible, talented females that are.
We came on the scene a little bit later.
Yeah?
Our co-creators are preschool best friends.
That's right. You said that in there when we were in the theater. And
Eric
yes.
and Lauren,
That's a-
preschool best friends.
Preschool, that's right. And introduce yourselves.
I'm Amy.
Amy.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Amy and
I'm Kelsey.
And Kelsey. So you did say that when we were in there, but preschool, that's a long time. But how long have you been doing this with them?
This is the beginning of my second year.
Okay, second year.
One full calendar year.
One full calendar year. And you?
This will be my third year.
Your third year. My third year. This gets pretty good sound, just like you can give it here. So these films that we saw tonight, and we were talking about this earlier, like with documentaries. Sometimes people make them, you were saying, sometimes just to make you cry. And Phil, you can hold this. Feel free to hold it. Like, it's not about just making you cry, right? It's like,
we were talking about a little bit.
Right there.
Thank you.
That's a sweet spot right there.
We were talking a little bit about how a lot of times documentaries cover really heavy material and kind of how we go about choosing which ones we want to show, because there are so many good ones. And I always look for something that makes me care about something that I didn't know about before. And somehow we'll end on a positive note. Sorry.
This is the comedy of the show, the variety of BaBysCriB.
A little more uplifting, something hopeful, something, that might lead people towards activism versus just kind of making them feel sad. Because there's enough to be sad about, but there's so much that we can learn about. And when you see a filmmaker share their passion and be able to translate that to their audience, that's what really comes through in a good documentary.
Yes. And to add to that, of course, we all have different personal and professional experiences, but my favorite type of documentary is the ones that's about a really specific small population. So what we saw with our student film about a group of women who spent time in the water together.
Right.
Or in previous years, we had one that was about a group of people who travel for competitive whitewater kayaking.
Okay.
So
they're all across the board.
Yeah.
Documentary. It's a real story. Yeah.
Or one that was about was it the Cat Museum?
Oh yeah.
This man just
There is a cat museum.
He maintains a museum of everything cat related throughout history that he can get his hands on. It's just like
my mom would love that.
It's a fun roadside attraction if you're ever on the Blue Ridge Highway.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Blue Ridge Highway, yes.
Yes, it's the little things for me that make you realize, we all know that we are complete, complex humans who contain multitudes, but to see it in someone else that contains a multitude that's never crossed your mind is magic.
I love that. That was beautiful. I love that so much. Well, I walked in here, I saw, there were 5 or 6 films that showed tonight. Not that you have to do the memory game. They're like, I'm so tired. I've been doing this all week. But yeah,
this
I know you've been doing it for a minute.
6 films.
6? Okay. So I saw all of them.
55 throughout the festival.
Yeah, that's so many. And it's narrowed down from, you said 2,000?
2,000 submissions this year.
That's a lot to have to watch and then to narrow it down, right?
Yes.
It's a lot. The ones that I saw tonight were amazing. And my girlfriend, Amanda Pryor, got an award for hers called Living Undone, which was really a compelling story. One of those that does make you cry, I think. But like you said, there's a point of activism and trying to help. And it was about just prisons and people that get rehabilitated, but it's not really rehabilitation. And people that can go to prison for things that they haven't done, crimes they haven't committed. And then some that they have committed, and yet they just there's more prisons than there are schools, I think, is one of the things. That was the point of
And I think it's so important, and what's so compelling about it is telling a personal story. It's like we know statistically that these things happen, but when you can really see into someone's life and see how their loved ones are affected, how they're affected, it makes it so much more relatable and so much more personal. And I think that's a real important way to get people to care.
And even
Yes.
beyond the film, Amanda's presence here. It's not just looking at someone on a screen like a beautiful movie star, which she looks like.
She is beautiful, and she is a movie star, but yes.
Yes, but to be able to look at her in the flesh, in person, and have her speak and interact and realize you don't know what anyone's hiding,
Right.
what they've been through, and
Right.
helps to build a little reflection and empathy.
It definitely does. And she is so beautiful, but she's got a lot of pain in there too. And so she just, like it's so, I love her so much. Thank you both for helping curate this, even though you weren't, since you were in preschool doing it together. I love it. And letting me interview you.
Yes, thank you. I'm like, I don't know how much sense what I'm making, but
You're doing great.
With this little thing that a lot of people think are vapes, sometimes they're like, what is this? I'm like, it's not a vape, it's a microphone. Yeah. So Amy and Kelsey.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. BaBysCriB, Atlanta Docufest.
Yeah.
Check us out.
Do it. Bye, beautiful people. Uh-huh.